A duck and a doctor walk into a bar and the tender says, "Hey, look, 2 quacks." We've got Rudo coming to you. Avs versus Ducks. Game 6 of the homestand for the Avs. They're looking to put themselves into the successful side of the trip. The Ducks are... I don't know what the Ducks are, if I'm being honest. They started the season wicked hot. They've cooled off significantly, but they still do hold the 3rd place in the Pacific for now. Yeah, how much of that is the Pacific is bad and how much of that is the Ducks are good? I don't really know.
Every time I pull up the Pacific standings, I just think how nice it must be to be able to lead that division with like 50 points.
To be in a division where not all top 3 teams in the NHL are in it. Yeah, must be nice.
Got all this sunshine. You don't have to deal with I-25.
Oh, jeez.
On top of, you get to be in a far more favorable situation. I don't know. I feel like this Anaheim team is frisky, but they've probably regressed closer to who they actually are compared to what we saw from them out of the gate.
Yeah, they're fun.
They are fun. They got cool uniforms.
Fun doesn't make you good necessarily, though. So
vibes can only take you so far.
Right. Probably somewhere in the middle, realistically. Probably a game that the Avs should win, but you got to go out and earn it every single night, and we can check in with our common spirit injury report to start things off with actual good news for the Colorado Avalanche on this thing for once. Val Nichushkin back in, will play tonight for Colorado. So the car accident clearly not very significant, which is great to hear. The rest of this, the usual stuff. Landeskog Taves still week to week. Kiviranta also in that week to week category. And LOC remains in the mystery box of who knows when he'll come back. So, Avs still working through some things, but it maybe got away with a little bit with Colton kind of being back up and running fully and Nichushkin being okay.
I think getting Nuke back is huge. Certainly being able to pull out the performance they had on Monday in a matinee without him was significant. Yep. Credit to the Avs. Thought they were awesome in that 3rd period. Rewatching that game again today really stood out. Just how decisive they were. The puck possession was so much better than what we had seen in that Nashville game, and then even early in that first game. But I mean, this is what you would hope to see before you go back out on the road, right? Like get the lineup more or less back on track. Sounds like Taves will be potentially an option on Sunday. Maybe it ends up being later in the week, but
should go on the trip at least. Yeah.
They're trending the right direction when it comes to injury stuff, and that's encouraging because you're about to get a couple of weeks off too. Yep. So
not so bad at the end of the day, and what could have been a much worse stretch for the Colorado Avalanche. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a common spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. Look, the Avs are a team that it's pretty easy to be confident in just in general this season, right? We don't have to go over every little detail of that. They're really good, and they deserve to be in the position that they're in. But there's a pretty clear delineation to me, right? When this team is at its best, its puck management is excellent. Mm-hmm. You watch them dominate the puck in, frankly, all 3 zones, but especially in the offensive zone. They can cycle you to death. They can make the seam passes. They can make the great plays. They win the board battles. And then when they struggle, they don't do any of those things effectively in their own zone. Particularly when it comes to zone exits, you watch their defense throw pucks right to the other team. How do you mitigate the negative side of that for Colorado, especially without Taves, with that defense in flux? Is there something the Avs can do to manage the puck a little bit better defensively?
I mean, it sounds silly, but just be that much more focused on it. I just think it needs to be a bigger emphasis when you have Makar and Taves out there who are just naturally such gifted players with the puck.
Yeah.
You know, you're able to operate and do everything kind of without having to think about it, right? And you can play at this pace and you create these breakouts and transition. And now, you know, everything is, it just has to be a little bit crisper fundamentally, I think. And that just kind of comes down to the little details. I think this team is plenty capable of being fine. It's probably unrealistic to expect it to be exactly what it is with Taves out there, because when you have those two on the ice together, it obviously leads to incredible things. But I just think they've got to be hyper aware of it, is really what it comes down to. And that's kind of the Avs in a nutshell this season. Is really, it's been pretty rare when teams have been the reason the Avs have, you know, played poorly or been off their game.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Avs versus the Avs in that regard.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you know, I kept mulling over in my head what you said the other day, where the only time the Avs really run into problems is when they compound issues on top of each other. Mm-hmm. And we've seen lately the bad puck management in the defensive zone compounded with a poor job of defending the high danger area in the middle of the ice on the defensive side. And especially without Taves, I think there are some limitations on the Avs' ability to defend the middle of the ice, frankly. Jack Ashan's back in the lineup today. After the Solovyov move, we'll talk about him a little bit later, but that's a small defense. You have Malinsky, you have Girard, you have Ashan. Those are not big guys. You're not going to win the muscle physical battles net front when you have those guys. So you do need to make sure you're doing what you can with the puck, because you can't give up those second chance opportunities. You know a discombobulated defense is going to cost you. If the puck's not getting out, you worry about their Avs' ability to recover.
We've seen it be an issue for them at times, right? I mean, even as well as they played on Monday, one of the goals you allow is just because there's a guy camping in front of the net, you know, completely uncontested. Right. And obviously your margin for error is far thinner right now. So again, I think a lot of that falls, you know, on puck management from the guys, you know, and the back end, but also, you know, like from a goaltending perspective, you cannot afford to give up some of these rebounds. You've just got to be that much sharper. That's the difference when you don't have a Taves out there. And we've seen them do that for large stretches, but they've also had those moments of imperfection, and it's understandable. Taves is a great player. You're going to feel that with him not being out there, but you can't have what you had on Monday where Burns just gets lost and, you know, you give up a goal or some of the rebound stuff that they've had struggles with at times. They've just got to be sharp there.
This is game 48, right? We're not in the portion of the season where you're still discovering what you have and who you are. You have a pretty good understanding of what you are as a team. And it's a fair conversation of, you know, are you trying to improve in your areas of weakness, or are you trying to play to your strengths? When you're missing guys like Taves, when you're missing guys like Landy, play to your strengths. You don't need to try to be something you're not when you're trying to fill holes. Just get the job done the way you are most effective in your own zone. And that, I
think we saw that from Kale on Monday, you know, really on both ends, but even defensively, you know, like obviously it was great to see him shooting the puck with such confidence. And I just felt like he was jumping into the play with more consistency, which, I mean, that's one of those things when he doesn't do it for a couple games, like, why? You're so good at it.
Everyone's missing it.
Like, come on. But defensively, I felt like he was just really on top of it. His stick in particular, like he was just all over the place. You probably need more of that until you get Taves back. Yeah,
a lot of that does fall on the shoulders of Kale. The other side of that is the forwards, though, too. We saw especially, you know, Nuke back. Maybe it helps you align your forwards a little bit, but the good work from your depth guys comes often off the cycle, off of the hard work that you do in the offensive zone. You need that to continue, and you need the simplification of the game from the Stars, too. Nathan McKinnon's first goal the other night is he walks into the zone and shoots. You don't do anything special. You just do that simple play better than everybody else in the league.
You know, in the newsletter this morning, and not to shamelessly plug myself, but please subscribe to it.
It's really good.
If you're into Denver sports, you know, not all Broncos. It's Avs, Nuggets, every now and then college sports, although obviously we lean into the pro side of things. But I wrote about how he's having a moment this year, and he's playing the best hockey of his career, obviously on pace to statistically put up the best season. There's a world where
possibly,
he could win Olympic golds,
yeah.
become a 2-time Hart winner and 2-time Stanley Cup champion. I mean, he's got an opportunity here to do something incredible. But I think what's been such a big part of his success this year is he simplified things.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to get so cute all the time. He's just letting it rip. And when you see his finishing percentage right now, it's unworldly. Like, he's doing this while shooting the puck less, which is pretty impressive.
Less is a relative term for McKinnon, but yeah.
Compared to 500 times in a season.
Right. But yeah, it really is. And, he's still Nathan McKinnon. You still maybe get some of those frustrating moments where he gets hung up on a play that he keeps trying and keeps trying. But especially with his shooting, I think we've seen it evolve into a world where he's no longer trying to execute the perfect shot. Maybe there's a little bit of a realization that he's a really good volume shooter, but maybe isn't the best sniper in the league or whatever you want to call it. And that allows him a little bit of freedom, I think, to say, look, if I throw the puck on net, it doesn't have to be pick the corner. It just needs to be a good shot, and it'll go in a good amount of the time.
There's, especially with the speed that he plays at, you don't have to be all that cute because you're not a stationary player. Like, you have the ability to, one, put a defense on their heels, but two, basically have a goalie shitting themselves because you just don't know. Like, I can't imagine what it feels like when you're a goaltender and it's like Monday afternoon where he's just coming downhill 50 miles an hour.
Like,
good luck.
Oh God. Yeah.
Please don't run me over. That's all. I got to stop a shot.
I'm worried about my livelihood.
He's going to go straight through me like a train.
Yeah. And McKinnon has done a very good job. I know I just voiced my frustrations with sometimes he gets into the overpassing category, but he's done a very good job of being a legitimate threat with the puck in all three ways. From any spot on the ice, you believe he could shoot it, he could pass it, or he could skate with it. And that's, for a goaltender, horrifying. You cannot cheat, whether it's cheating on his shot, cheating on his pass, or cheating on where he's going to go with the puck. You have to give him respect for all three options anytime he has the puck, and that makes him extremely unpredictable.
On top of, in the back of your mind, you're thinking he might just dish it off to a Cale Makar.
Right. Who, by the way, is pretty good also.
Also pretty good at hockey.
Not bad. Not a bad option to have on that front. We can take a look at these two teams. The Avs chart hasn't changed in about a week. Number one in everything but the power play, where they're one of the worst. So par for the course for Colorado over the last little bit on their team card. Anaheim's, on the other hand, a bit of an adventure on the Anaheim card. Offensively, like I said, they're a fun team. They absolutely can score goals. You can go watch a young team play some exciting offense. They have a good number of guys who finish pucks well. And then they literally give up the most goals in the NHL on the other side. So
that's not a stat I would look at as a coach in the morning and be thinking,
feel good
glad we're in
stuff.
Colorado.
Yeah, right. No, this isn't a team that scores a lot. We'll be fine.
32nd.
Yeah, it's bad. Oof. It's bad.
And also an equally poor power play, so not exactly creating for themselves either. I mean, this is a game you should cruise. Like, you want to be respectful of all opponents. We said that, the other day, and they played one of the worst games of the season. So that happens, but I really like that they won a normal hockey game on Monday.
Same.
We've talked about that so much. They've been so dominant at times that it's really, what do you take away from a 7-1 win other than this team's firepower is absurd? We know that, but
not a lot of notes to pull from. Yeah.
I want to just make sure that you can continually grind out the games against good opponents. And I feel like they did that on Monday. Now you've got a favorable stretch here to close the homestand, and then obviously you go out to Canada for those games. Are always a tough travel wise, but it feels like this stretch before the Olympics is pretty favorable for the Avs, and this is kind of an opportunity for you to really just take a stranglehold of that division ahead of the Olympic break.
And the Ducks are in that range of a team where it's like, depending on how things go through the rest of the season, you could end up in that second wild card spot and could have the Avs in the first round, right?
Yeah.
You go out and smoke a team like this, and everyone goes, okay, we probably don't want that smoke. we don't want to face the Avs in round one.
I would love an Anaheim Ducks Colorado Avalanche round one series. Give me anything other than what we had to deal with last year.
Yeah, well, that'll be the second round this year.
I know,
so. But yeah, I do think it's a little bit, the Avs are a team that have to sometimes find reasons to get up for games, to want to earn it. And that could be one. You could be saying, hey, this could be a preview of a round one playoff series. We treat this like a playoff game. It really shouldn't be that competitive, if we're honest.
How much do you think the lead in the division is a focus for the guys? Because they're not going to come out on the record and talk about, we're following the division standings. Obviously, they are to an extent.
Of course.
Do you look at this 8-game stretch before the Olympics? Is that something, if you are these guys, and be like, man, if we even got 8 of the possible 16 points, assuming that Dallas doesn't just go undefeated between here and the Olympics, you're getting a double-digit lead in the division. I think Dallas will have 25 games left post-Olympics. Yeah. That's going to be pretty tough to overcome. You more or less could basically seize it now.
Yeah, if you perform at 800 hockey or something, I think you pretty much lock it up. It would be near impossible for Dallas or Minnesota to do anything about it post-Olympic break at that point. But I think why...
It's not too early, though, I guess. It was a poorly phrased question on my part, but is it early enough, or is it late enough, I guess, in the season to where you could really look at that? Or is there still too much hockey? That's kind of a dangerous... You don't want to go on cruise control too early, or even start looking at the possibility of going on cruise control?
I mean, I don't think you can do it until the trade deadline, which is it's only 10 days after the Olympic break. But you hit the trade deadline and then teams are set. You know what teams are. You know really what you're capable of. And from there, you can kind of work and see if you can get guys days off or if you're in cruise control or whatever. But maybe even more important than the cruise control, and this is a luxury, but I think the Avs are really, really trying to lock in a first-round series of Dallas versus Minnesota. You want those two teams to tear each other apart and make your path easier. You were that team for Dallas. There's a big reason why Dallas loses in Edmonton in the conference finals every year is because they have to go through Colorado and they come out of that series destroyed. Do that the other way. Have Dallas and Minnesota destroy each other while you get San Jose or Anaheim or something, and you can be the team that takes advantage of a tired team.
Man, Bailey's going to come up in here and get to go to San Jose or something like that. It's in Dallas 3 times flying back and forth. The least redeeming city in America. There's nothing wrong with Dallas. It's just nothing right about it either.
Was a very brief one from Jared Bednar this morning, but let's hear his quick thoughts on tonight and the Avs lineup.
We'll have questions for Jared. Go ahead, Ryan.
Val good to go?
He is. What else, Jesse?
We mentioned yesterday you're going to call up a defenseman. It's Jack O'Shawn again.
Yeah.
Mark Matestu with the Eagles gave him some high praise, and this is another call-up he gets. What is it about his game that just fits so well with what you like?
Great skater, highly competitive, good puck mover. Yeah. I like the way he defends. He's an intelligent player. He's been around for a while. He's excited for the opportunity, and he comes up and he's played outstanding for the Eagles, and then when he comes up here, he elevates his game and he looks at ease. He looks like he, still has the same type of poise he has in the American League. He's not afraid to make plays and get involved on the offensive side of it. And so he's a really good option for us. We like what he's done when he's played here. He's played good games here.
Evan.
Talked to Brett Heinrich yesterday for a little while, and everyone knows about challenges and all that stuff, but he does a lot more for you guys as staff. How essential is he to your coaching staff just for the entire operation?
Critical. I mean, most teams have 2 or 3 Bretts, and he does it all by himself. He does all the prep for all the coaches. Goaltending coach, he gets everything ready for them to sort through. All my pre-scouts, he gets ready and digs in on the things that he knows I want to see. Same for power play, same for penalty kill. He preps it all. and does a great job of it, so we're not digging through mountains of information and clips to try and figure out what we need to know. Like he's dialed right in, and yeah, we wouldn't be able to operate without him, or our days would be 4 times as long, and they're already long enough.
Bailey?
Ducks on a bit of a heater right now,
Yeah.
just the scouting report looking.
Yeah, good team. Good team. They obviously suffered a big loss here recently, right? Carlson, like he's going to be a superstar and already is in some facets of the game, and so that hurts you. But they went through their struggles here recently, lost a lot of games in a row. Young team probably took a little bit longer to get out of it than what they would like, but they've come out of it stronger. Like they've won 4 games in a row against good opponents, and they're playing good hockey right now. So another team that we can expect their best, and they're going to try to keep their streak going, and we got to keep getting back on track.
Okay, thank you, Jared. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Yep.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Bednar mentioned it. Anaheim without Leo Carlson had a small procedure on his thigh. He's fine, but will be out for a little while. You never want anyone to be injured. You want to beat every team best on best, but the reality is every team is going to go through some of that. And opportunity to take advantage of a team who's maybe missing their best player, or if not take advantage, at least even the playing field for the Avs with some of the guys they're missing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and you're always going to have the advantage at home when you're Colorado, but this is an Anaheim team that's coming in hot. They've won 4 straight, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a nice little wrinkle in your favor, right? He's one less guy you have to deal with, and they've still got, Troy Terry and plenty of other talented individuals. Yeah. Like, it's not like this is a team that, he's out, so you just completely, whatever.
Sure.
But
got to take him
that's
serious.
big. I mean, that's a big factor in this one. And again, there's kind of no excuses in this game. You should win this one fairly convincingly.
You mentioned the home ice thing. Is it a little bit of a pressure off situation for the Avs? They finally lose their home point streak thing that they had going on. If we're honest about the city of Denver right now, no one cares about the Avs today. The next 4 days is all about the Denver Broncos, and that's the reality of what the city is. Good or a bad thing? Does that let the Avs play free, or is it a little bit, maybe the crowd isn't as into it today?
I mean, I don't know. It feels like a little bit of copium or whatever at that point. But yeah. I will say that I think there's something to there being a tangible pressure when you get on some type of crazy streak, whether it's not the ultimate goal. It's not like the Avs came into this season being like, we're going to go undefeated at home.
Yep.
If they went 500 at home in the regular season, but they won the Stanley Cup, that's a win.
No one would care. Yeah.
Probably not going to win the Stanley Cup if you went 500 at home, but you know what I mean? Like, that's not the ultimate goal, but it is just one little thing that you don't have to think we got to keep this going,
right.
like, especially at this stage of the year where it does get long.
Yep.
And perfection is what you strive for, but it's just not realistic. So I think it is kind of a nice little reset. I mean, again, from an analyst perspective, I don't know how much that really, like, how valid it truly is. But like when the Broncos lost to Jacksonville, you tell yourself, well, you're not going to win like 16 straight games. So let's get the loss out now.
Out of the way. Yeah, it's
science.
I don't think this Avs team particularly has problems with that type of pressure, to be honest with you.
Don't.
But it's so easier, right? There's just that little bit less noise every day when you go in the locker room.
Well, you're not getting asked about it. You know, it's been 21 straight. It's been 22 straight.
By the 10th time they're asking you, you're like, I don't know, man.
We want to win every game. What more can we say?
With trying to win this game, Jack Ashawn back in on the Avs defense, like I mentioned earlier in the show. It had quality minutes earlier in the year for the Avs at times. Is there anything to really read into here, or the Avs defense just going to continue doing what they're doing, swapping Ashawn for Solovyov?
I mean, I don't think this changes a ton, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Solovyov didn't play a ton, didn't play either special teams unit.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of need someone to eat 6 to 8 minutes a night.
Hopefully more like 12 would be ideal.
Well,
But-
yeah, without Taze.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not, you're not expecting a ton out of Ashawn, and all he has to do is be decent, do what he does best, and it'll be fine on that front. So I don't expect a whole lot different from the Avs D tonight, though you would like them to play a little bit tighter. Like
They
we
kind of
mentioned
like him,
earlier.
right?
Bednar certainly does, yeah.
Yeah.
He likes the way he plays. I do think he does make the Avs defense a little small. As a guy who usually doesn't care about size, the Avs are pushing the limits there a little bit, I think. But they've won with him in the season earlier. There's nothing to not like here. I'm perfectly happy with it. Other than that, I mean, look, if you are playing a defense that's fast and loose, Avs outscore some of the issues, right? That should be the plan for where this team is at until Devon Taves gets back, in my opinion. Is high-scoring hockey sustainable for this team?
For 3 months, it's probably not how you want to live on a nightly basis, just because, I mean, you experienced it in a game like Game 7 against Dallas, right? Like anything can happen once a team starts scoring goals.
Yeah.
But this is the best offensive team in the NHL. So, yeah, do I think that they could, for an extended period, just outscore teams? Yeah, because they have that many dudes.
In the regular season,
Sure.
I think they can do it. Playoffs is a different story, but
I mean, it's
months away from that.
you're going to have Taze back. You're going to have Landy
Right.
back. Fundamentally, you're going to be so much more sound defensively. So I just don't think it's worth fixating on some of these issues. Now, you know, you have a 5-game, 6-game stretch where you rack up a bunch of L's and it's just a mess. All right, now we'll talk. But for now,
Don't fix what's not broken.
you're
Yep.
fine.
Exactly. I'm good with that. Let's get to our crystal ball. Predict the game tonight. Justin, give me a score. Give me a name. What's going to happen in this game?
I'm going to go 4-2.
Okay.
I think it's a good hockey game. I think you get the empty netter kind of to pull
Seal
away.
it up. Yep.
And I mean, it's kind of easy, but give me the dog. The dog's
Yeah.
going to bark tonight.
Let's go. He could hit 40 tonight if he gets 2.
That's pretty, dude. Every time I look up his stats and more, I'm just like, wait, he's already at where he only needs 14 goals to pass his heart-winning season.
Yep. It's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Excuse me. I also think it's going to be a more normal. I'm going to take 3-1, a little bit lower scoring. I'm betting lower scoring until it happens. Okay, I'm stuck.
We
on
are
this
due
one.
for like a 2-1, even like a
Yeah,
1-0
right.
type
It's
game.
been
We
a
haven't
minute.
had a ton of those.
It feels like the Avs might be due for one of those. And I'm taking Kale. He's getting his goal back that got taken away.
Oh, it's
the
Cale
other night.
McCarr.
Yeah.
He needs to find like one of those attorneys. Have you been wronged by NHL replay review? Him and Landy start a class action suit.
Honestly, against the NHL, I'm in.
That actually, we should do sports over everything. Like the This Is Sports. That'd be a funny bit for me and you to do.
McKinnon, McCarr, and Landeskog at law.
Just like full Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny. Are you tired of getting goals overturned? Is it driving you crazy?
All right, let's get to my bets as well. Our pregame picks presented by Bet365, where things are never ordinary. I did put Cale McCarr goal on my list at plus 240, but also took the under, like I mentioned. It's actually plus money to be under 6.5. If Dostal has a good night, not that unreasonable for an under to hit. And then the last one is apparently also the under again. But what my actual bet was a power play point for Brock Nelson, which I think is plus 230.
That's great value considering what he's doing right now.
Right. He's been electric on the power play. Anaheim is a bad special teams organization. You'd like to see the Avs get an advantage there. An opportunity there, maybe, for Colorado to make their life easier in tonight's game. We also had a couple of super chats from last post game that I totally forgot about. So if you're one of those people and watching, I apologize. But here the super chats are right now. As we had $2. I can definitely find these and pull them up and remember where I got sent them. There we go. $2 from Pin King, who after last game says, as long as Val doesn't get another accident, well, he's in tonight. So That worked out.
We can stop speculating. There was some pretty gross speculation when all
There
that
always
happened.
is with Val. I get it.
No, the guy's been look. I've been a harsh critic of Val Nichushkin at times over the years, but let's get the facts first before we react.
There's
It's a good way to live life in general.
very much a part of me that thinks Val doesn't deserve to be in the NHL anymore, but I don't make the NHL rules and he's in there. So
Oh, you could argue he basically single-handedly cost the team a playoff run. So I get it why there's frustration, but
for what it's worth, Val is in a much better place mentally from everything we've heard.
they're a better
this year.
team when he's on the ice.
That's
That's
definitely
without a
true.
doubt.
And then we had $20 or 20 euros, I suppose, from Mika, who says, my petition is that since Lord Admiral Horatio Nelson was the greatest naval leader ever and lived in the 18th century, we should start calling Brock Admiral Nelson, as he already looks like a Revolutionary War vet. As long as Landy's out, he wears the A, so the Admiral kind of makes sense.
Admiral just sounds cool. Like Admiral Nelson. Isn't that a bottle of booze?
Thing is, I don't like...
Yeah, that's a booze.
I don't ever want to put any player on a ship because then it feels like you're on a sinking ship kind of situation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
Rather be a wagon.
Yeah, there it is. That's the end. What is a tank command? Well, you don't want to be a tank either. Never mind. I give up. That's it. We're already over time for the pregame show, so we're going to wrap this up. Come join us for the postgame. And when you do gamble, make sure you do it with Bet365. Use code DNVR365. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. If you're somebody who knows a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. If not joining for the watch-along, join for postgame with J. Mike and I, where we'll break it all down for you. We appreciate y'all. This has been the DNVR Avalanche pregame show.
We all silly like the mayor.